Continue on with Word Project 4. We're going to work next with the membership plans table. And if you are alarmed, as I was when I was doing this, my project doesn't quite match with the books that was on page 247. Theirs is kind of a brown and orangish color, where mine's shades of blue. But that's okay, because that's all going to change as we format this a little bit. First step they have us do is select the column to the right, just the column to the right. And then under the layout tab, there's a delete button. Click delete, select delete column, and it takes that column away. Next thing they have us do is click in this cell up here where it says amenities and programs, and they have us use the split cell button, and that splits the cell if we choose the settings of 2 columns in 1 row into two cells. I'm going to now take the text from this side and drag it over. You could also copy paste it. Absolutely, if you needed to, you could just retype it. And then I'm gonna move this split cell such that I have a blank area above exercise, and kind of some room to play around with on that. And now I'm on about page 250. So I just want to make sure I'm in the right place. I'm going to highlight these 3 rows now, the exercise, aquatics, and gymnastics. There's a button that says sort, and this will actually sort those items alphabetically and move aquatic, and notice the description and the price goes with it, along with exercise and gymnastics. Something else they have us do here is highlight the individual and family columns and hit distribute columns, and that makes them uniformly the same width. And very nice to look at and formatted well. Make sure I haven't forgotten anything yet. Oh, they want us to also come over here and insert a column to the left. All right, and with that they want us to highlight these cells, these 4 cells. And I'm on about page 251, 252. When I highlight those cells, they want me to merge those cells into one big cell. And then add some text in here, which is annual rates by facility. And it would be really nice if those text would be rotated by using the text direction so that it is vertical, going from the bottom to the top. And then they have us kind of pull this over such that that new column that we created a moment ago is very narrow and looks nice. Okay, next thing I have us do, and this is where we get back to where we're hopeful, hopefully looking like the book, is highlight all the cells other than the top and leftmost borders, and they have us come under the design, change the shading to no color. So that takes away any shading color we have there. And that's not to worry, because we're going to do some things with those in just a second. If you want to add your grid lines, just hold on, because we're going to do something with those in a second. What we're actually doing is click on this upper left-hand corner, and that highlights the entire cell. We're going to borders, go to page borders, or borders and shading at the bottom. Make sure that you apply this to the table. I'm going to choose the color brown down here at the bottom. And I'm on page 252 if you wanted to check this. Point of 1, the style here, and then what you do is you click on each of these, and it puts them in wherever you place the border lines, and hit OK. And notice that it puts the actual border around the table, which looks very nice. Something I can do while I'm doing this as well is I can highlight this and change my shading to that same brown, and that makes me feel better because it matches the book. Same brown. Alright, one of the last parts to finish up this table is at the bottom under individual and family. They want you to put a total here. Now you can actually manually calculate that, but let's let the computer do the work for us. Under the layout tab, there's a formula button. Click on that, and it will sum all of the cells above. The only thing the book wants us to do is format this by using the 3rd one down and actually take away the decimal and the 2 zeros after that in both locations. And that will give us the total down here at the bottom. Do the same thing for the family. Take away the zeros and the decimal, and that table looks fantastic. I'm happy with it. One other thing before we do the last step is if your document goes onto a third blank page or an extra blank page, what you can do is click underneath this and hit your delete key a couple times, and that pulls up the emptiness. So it's nice to have that formatted in such a way. So let me just save this before we do our last step. The last step is to create a watermark, and this is on page 257, 258 of the book. That's actually a nice touch to add to a page. Go to page layout, go to watermark. We're going to make a custom watermark, and we're going to do a text where we type in the words "get fit!" exclamation point. Actually, they have it all uppercase, so we better do all uppercase too. Century Gothic, they want the size to be 144, which is a pretty big size. They want it to be horizontal. And hit OK. And what that will do, it may be hard to see on the screen, but you have in the background the words "get fit," which is called a watermark. Kind of nifty. So I'm going to save this again, and that should conclude the project. You may want to zoom out and get an overview of it. Make sure it looks kind of like the page 202, 203 we started off with, and I'm happy with it. If I were grading this, which I will be, I'd give that a pretty favorable grade. So good luck.